I'm Bruna Afonso. I'm a political science and history double major, and I'm a senior.
My name is Andrew Bell. I'm a senior studying economics and political science.
Andrew and I met fall quarter freshman year in our first political science class, Intro to Politics. I remember us discussing, and I would think in my head, I'd be like, how does this guy think these things? And it was just really interesting to think back then, because we were so polar opposites, but now the fact that we were such polar opposites make our friendship so unique and so special.
I oftentimes start my classes, especially the ones in political science, with the statement, if at the end of this class you know what I actually think about this topic, or you know my views, then I will have failed. My job is not to tell you which theory to think is correct. My job is to present to you, here's the complete set of theories that we have, here's how we're understanding this topic, and here's the evidence for each.
Our generation can be so revolutionary. Things that are a lot more slow changing now happen like this. And it's due to people who are getting upset or being passionate about an issue and fighting for it.
When we're offended by one another, we go to one another, not just us specifically, but like people in general. There's a priority placed on reconciliation and the restoration of that relationship rather than just going off and nursing your wounds. And that's not unique to Christianity by any means, but it is something that I think the Christian community here promotes and nurtures.
Bruna and Andrew, they're basically the co-leaders of the Seattle Pacific University Political Union. This is a dialogue among different students from across the political spectrum. And Bruna and Andrew are really able to basically help to facilitate a much, much deeper discussion and move away from the idea of being sort of siloed with your own group and just hearing perspectives that you already agree with and all the preaching to the choir stuff.
He has not only been my favorite professor, but definitely the professor that has made the most impact on me. He'll sometimes lecture, but it's not boring. It's never boring.
He's very, very genuinely interested and invested both in his students and in his field.
Something that's not black and white isn't problematic. It's not something to be fearful of. A lot of the world is gray. There's a lot of ambiguity in the world, and our job is to try to understand it and to reduce that ambiguity, but we shouldn't be afraid of it. And I don't think our students are afraid of it. I think that they're much more able to confront these issues.
We get into arguments all the time. He'll say something and I'm like, well, no, no. And then we'll have really great discussions, but it's been deeply rooted in our friendship.
It's essential for everybody to have an idea of what they think about the issues and to arrive at that by educating themselves and researching and learning. And a big part of that is talking with people who you don't agree with and learning from them and maybe even changing your own viewpoint.
Politics is about compromise, and viewing each other with respect as fellow Christians simply makes that so much simpler.